Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Thursday, June 3rd, at 3:25 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 675 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Trump Department of Justice secretly obtained phone records of 4 New York Times reporters. Venus, NASA announces 2 new missions. It's just not reasonable, federal fire crews struggle to keep stations staffed in California. Texas Governor Abbott moves to close shelters housing migrant children in the state. The 9 best cars for summer road trips. Something told me to stop. NC man hits top lottery prize on way home from a trip. Kentucky Derby winner Medina Spirit's failed drug test confirmed. Trump is pushing conservative writers to say the 2020 election was stolen from him, according to a report. An educational agency backed by Betsy DeVos just lost recognition for reportedly signing off on a fake college. The die-hard right-wing multimillionaire replacing Israel's Bibi. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. David Harbour revealed why he got married to Lily Allen during the pandemic, and it's too sweet, BuzzFeed. Trump has grown increasingly consumed with ballot audits as he pushes falsehood that election was stolen, The Washington Post. Sackler family empire poised to win immunity from opioid lawsuits, NPR. Chris Harrison not hosting Bachelor in Paradise Season 7, TV Line. Liz Cheney spent $58K on security in months after Trump impeachment vote. The Hill. Anthony Davis waiting to be cleared, is game time decision for Lakers vs. Suns, Arizona Sports. Here's why sundial growers, Tilray, and other cannabis stocks soar today, Motley Fool. Hackers are making Americans' lives worse, at an awkward time for Biden, Politico. Opinion Netanyahu's on the way out, here's what Biden can expect next, Politico. 2 new NASA missions will uncover the secrets of Venus, CNN. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Police investigate bomb threat at Palestinian Center in New Jersey. Woman accused of saying "Ma coming for Pelosi" is arrested in assault of Capitol cop. Democrat Kyrsten Sinema says the filibuster protects the democracy of our nation. High school valedictorian uses speech to blast Texas' new abortion ban. If you hate cleaning, here are 23 products that'll do the work for you. Kentucky Derby winner Medina Spirit fails second drug test, veteran trainer suspended. Naomi Osaka shows that prioritizing yourself over a job is still a radical act. Mariah Carey calls her Rachel hairdo attempt sad, but Jennifer Aniston disagrees. Netanyahu opponents reach coalition deal to oust Israeli Prime Minister. Gwyneth Paltrow would like to remind you that she also dated Ben Affleck. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. One wolf shot, another struck by car after escape. Academy owner sets up fund to help families. Oklahoma weather wreaking havoc on local farmers. Former alderman hosts mask-burning event at bar. Man shows up to the courthouse in stolen car. Hotel closes owing customers money. Video, kosher student allegedly forced to eat pork. Records of black men accused in race massacre cleared. CT faces a school bus driver shortage. Councilman wants kids that stole car to confess. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. Knicks resurgent season ends with Game 5 loss to the Hawks. Crime and qualifications at issue in heated New York City mayoral debate. As U.S. optimism grows, others have worst outbreaks yet. Trump administration secretly seized phone records of Times reporters. Trump shuts down his blog, frustrated by its low readership. Medical journals reluctant to take on racism, critics say. High school football coaches suspended after teen is forced to eat pork, lawyer says. Netanyahu rivals agree on Israeli coalition to oust him. Solving the world's problems of the Venice Architecture Biennale. Mike Krzyzewski, celebrated Duke coach, will retire after coming season. The following headlines are from the sixth most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. NYC mayoral debate, Andrew Yang only Dem candidate to say he wants de Blasio, Cuomo endorsement. Judge Judy jabs CBS after network disrespected her show Hot Bench, you were wrong. Oklahoma State teaching assistant says she cannot teach Spanish because she's white. A ruling from Mount Parliamentarian. Who is Naftali Bennett, the man slated to replace Benjamin Netanyahu? Rep. Pat Fallon proposes cyber attack legislation after recent hacks. Despite $5 book deal, Governor Cuomo making taxpayers foot $2.50 and legal defense tab. Chris Matthews' accuser says she received hate messages following his MSNBC appearance. California task force holds first meeting to study reparations for slave descendants. Texas woman taken into custody after child is found dead in motel room. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Thursday, June 3rd. The next headlines are from the seventh most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Child tax credit, how much money will the government pay you each month? Memorial Tournament preview, Muirfield Village produces great champions on a spectacular stage, says CBS Sports Jim Nantz. Rodeo Corpus Christi set to air on CBS Sunday, June 6th. Stimulus check update, is a fourth relief payment coming for Americans? It's carrying out Arthur Ashe's mission, USTA Foundation President Kathleen Wu on Rally for the Future Tennis Initiative. The next headlines are from the eighth most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Nepal variant threat to our holidays, ministers fear new strain of COVID could scupper getaways. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck enjoy romantic dinner date in West Hollywood. Two octopuses caught on camera having sex in the Mornington Peninsula in Victoria. Cultural icons including Sir Mick Jagger demand Italian authorities protect Venice. Portugal could be dropped from the UK's travel green list. Paul Thomas on Jubilee in the time of COVID. Pictured, the bloody pier where Belize cop was shot dead. Craig Brown, Meghan, her truth and the path to victory, as President Markle. School catch-ups are lashes Boris Johnson after revealing he had no option but to quit. Celebrity chef shares her super simple recipe for carrot cake pancakes. The following headlines are from the ninth most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. Mexico's deadly elections, crime groups target candidates in a fight for turf. Iran's largest naval warship burns and sinks in Gulf of Oman. The pandemic is getting worse, even when it seems like it's getting better. Buckingham Palace announces unprecedented platinum jubilee for Queen Elizabeth II next year. COVID-19 live updates, Biden declares June a national month of action in bid to boost vaccinations. Nicaraguan government arrests opposition leader Cristiana Chamorro. Nicaragua police detain government opponent. Summer evening in London's Hyde Park shattered by machete-wielding group. Ecological disaster looms as ship with dangerous goods aboard sinks off Sri Lankan coast. Netanyahu opponents reach coalition deal to oust Israeli PM. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. The Wuhan lab leak theory. Texas valedictorian goes off script to slam abortion ban, it's dehumanizing. National Enquirer publisher fined overpayment for Trump story. NASA plans return to Venus with 2 missions by 2030. CEO of Make-A-Wish chapter admits embezzling from charity for sick children. Nicaragua police detain opposition leader and expected Ortega challenger. Saka fires England to win over Austria but Alexander Arnold suffers injury. Biden announces month of action to get 70% of Americans vaccinated. Israeli opposition leader tells president he can form government. NFL to stop controversial use of race norming in brain trauma settlements. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. 14-year-old girl who opened fire at deputies refer to grand theft auto. As legal marijuana booms, people push for justice for those impacted by war on drugs. Arizona planning to use Nazi-era gas for death row executions, report. Hall of Fame trainer suspended from Kentucky Derby racing for 2 years. Chauvin lawyer seeks sentence of time served in murder of George Floyd. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. JBS, FBI says Russia-linked group hacked meat supplier. Uganda, to summon after reporting on BBC investigation. Growing sinkhole threatens to swallow home in Mexico. The Mexican mayor refusing to give in to violence. Macron's blunt style may harm bid for new African chapter. Could phone footage put Myanmar's leaders in jail? Mezcal producers hope to toast brighter future. Why Canada is mourning the deaths of 215 children. Israel opposition parties agree to form new unity government. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. The Federal Hot Cars Act aims to prevent deaths in sweltering vehicles. Can technology help save lives? NYC mayor's race candidate hold in-person debate. Today in history for June 3rd. This is like Bonnie and Clyde, girl, 14, and boy, 12, open fire on Florida deputies after walking away from juvenile group home. Prosecutor files charges in 2019 death of Washington State University fraternity pledge. Arizona Secretary of State Katie Hobbs announces a run for governor. U.S. officials warn migrants not to trust smugglers. Derek Chauvin's attorney says he shouldn't go to prison for George Floyd's murder. Julianne Moore enters Stephen King's world. U.S. Army raids Bulgarian factory by mistake. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Amid India reports, Garcetti says conversations with Biden will remain private. Mom who pled guilty to torture murder of Gabriel Fernandez, 8, asked to be resentenced. A judge denied it. In Compton, voters poised to choose experience over history for mayor. At an underground fight club on in the pandemic, Black Blade vs. Big Cheese. Takes French restaurant gets historic designation, but not for its Echo Park building. More California counties allowed to reopen their economies as COVID-19 fades. Small fire breaks out at Universal Studios Hollywood. Feud between firefighters led to shooting at Agua Dulce Fire Station, detectives say. Former LA Councilman Mitchell Englander begins serving prison sentence. A legendary, yet mostly forgotten theme park ride rises from the grave at Knott's Berry Farm. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Thursday, June 3rd, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More from other news sources is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. WHO says nearly 200,000 Palestinians need health aid after Gaza conflict. Twitter deletes Nigerian president's tweet invoking civil war. History made as Arab-Israeli Ram Party joins Bennett-Lapid coalition, the first Arab party to join a government in half a century. NASA plans 2 new missions to Venus, its first in decades. Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu replaced, opposition leader officially informed the president. Naftali Bennett will be the new PM of Israel with Yair Lapid in rotation, first coalition ever with an Arab party. Germany stops Russian flights from landing in Tit-for Tat move. Belarusians are now hostages in their own country, says Tikhanovskaya in Vilnius. In Tit-for Tat move, Germany blocks Russian airlines. Cargo ship carrying 25 tons of acid sinks in Sri Lankan waters, marks one of worst environmental disasters in decades. U.S. military apologizes after troops accidentally raid Bulgaria factory. Hundreds of protesters flood back into old-growth blockade camps cleared by RCMP. UN seeks full probe into deaths of indigenous students at residential schools. Belarusian journalist Protasevich moved to KGB detention facility, says rights group. Biggest ship in Iran's navy catches fire and sinks under unclear circumstances, semi-official Iranian news agencies say. The next headlines are from Forbes. No, Facebook didn't restore Trump's account today. A look back at ISPA's historic week on Billboard's global chart. The FBI is blaming the JPS hack on a Russian-speaking criminal gang. Here's what we know about them. Dallas High School valedictorian goes viral after slamming Texas abortion ban in unapproved graduation speech. BTS pass Psy for the most top 10 hits among Korean musicians on Billboard's streaming chart. Connecticut lawmakers scolded for getting drunk on the job. NY taxpayers to spend up to $2.5 million defending Cuomo administration in nursing home deaths investigation. Malaysia's wealth creation, future opportunities lie in digital and services. Former HP engineers team up to find defects in high-tech gear. Global chip-making boom propels 2 new faces on Malaysia rich list. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Gating and modulation of a heterooctameric ampaglutamate receptor. A proximity-dependent biotinylation map of a human cell. NOTAM from APCI, mutant cells biases clonal competition to initiate cancer. Asymmetric response of interfacial water to applied electric fields. Daily briefing, coronavirus variants given Greek names. CO sub-2, doping of organic interlayers for perovskite solar cells. Tracing oncogene-driven remodeling of the intestinal stem cell niche. Base editing of hematopoietic stem cells rescue sickle cell disease in mice. Widespread deoxygenation of temperate lakes. Hepatic stellate cells suppress NK cell-sustained breast cancer dormancy. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,709,293,035 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. No, JoJo Siwa won't have to kiss a man in her upcoming movie. Joel Kinnaman talks Insane Suicide Squad sequel and playing Yuzo Aduba's boyfriend on In Treatment. Audible knocks 53% off premium memberships. 6 books to listen to right now. The Nevers, how VFX team pulled off that epic water fight. 4 women running for Academy Music Branch Governor, a first in Oscars history. Chris Harrison not returning to Bachelor in Paradise to be replaced by celebrity guest hosts. Masked Singer, RuPaul's Drag Race and Bridgerton costume designers on crafting show-stopping looks. One Day at a Time alum Justina Machado to star in Amazon pilot horror of Dolores Roach, Roxanne Dawson to direct. Disney, NBCU, Fox start to sell in TVs accelerating upfront market exclusive. Jupiter's Legacy Netflix series releases cast as streamer orders Super Crooks live-action show. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. Sackler family empire poised to win immunity from opioid lawsuits. Still talking, Biden, Republicans agreed to keep at infrastructure negotiations. NBA arenas have been opening, with a rash of fan incidents toward players. As grants for shuttered venues trickle out, many owners are still waiting. Israeli politicians say they have reached a deal that would oust Netanyahu. NASA picks twin missions to visit Venus, Earth's evil twin. Senate Democrats urge Google to investigate racial bias in its tools and the company. Sri Lanka faces an environmental disaster as a ship full of chemicals starts sinking. A would-be trans and queer haven in rural Colorado just wants to be left alone. Biden says he will ramp up push to expand voting rights, and puts Harris in charge. The following headlines are from The Week. Derek Chauvin's lawyer argues for time served, while prosecutors seek a 30-year sentence. NASA to send 2 missions to Venus. Netanyahu opponents reach deal to form new government. China's 3-child policy isn't a demographic improvement, it's a moral one. What conservatives see in the Fauci emails. Trump reportedly shut down his blog because it was being mocked as a loser. Trump couldn't even run a blog. Where is Lil Uzi Vert's $24 million diamond Ford implant? After walking across America, Mike Posner summits Mount Everest. AMC shares reach an all-time high after surging over 120%. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. With a special session on voting restrictions looming, Texas Dems push for federal protections. Strangest state, a UFO in Austin and a rare cloned horse. The next headlines are from Physics Buzz News. What's the price of physics history? The next headlines are from Universe Today. NASA orders up a double shot of Venus missions amid questions about life. Lunar rovers, transform and roll out. No, Canadarm2 hit by a piece of space debris. These are the news headlines for today, Thursday, June 3rd. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the 3rd most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. SpaceX CRS-22 mission Thursday will carry tiny crewmates. Holding the Singapore sun. The Crow, Cup and Water Snake in June. Active seaflow volcanoes on Jupiter's moon Europa. New water clues on Uranus and Neptune. Alphega, a jewel in the Northern Crown. The next news is from Politico. U.S. sanctions top Bulgarians for graft, European Union does zilch. Boris Johnson, nothing in the data to prevent England's lockdown exit. Rush to sign trade deals risks political backlash, Britain warned. Biden urged to push EU to be a military power. Moderna to double EU vaccine manufacturing with new Dutch site. George Floyd's murder transformed America. White House weighs sending states unused vaccine doses abroad before they expire. Trump's blog failed bigly. His next online venture won't be any easier. The Biden revolution sputters before it even gets started. Hackers are making Americans' lives worse at an awkward time for Biden. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Victoria COVID live updates. State records 3 new local cases as Melbourne's lockdown extended. Businesses plead for help. Australia News Live. Victoria records 3 new local COVID-19 cases as state's lockdown extended. NSW South Coast exposure sites grow. This has never been seen before. Common illnesses wipe out in fight against COVID-19. Merlino. Restrictions will ease for regions. New cases linked. The woes of China's bad bank point to deeper problems. More than 500 in isolation after infectious families road trip. Lockdown diary, day 7, a child says exactly what we're all thinking. Singapore ready for Australia bubble despite uptick in cases, health expert says. The dream isn't over, no duds on crowded houses perfectly formed new album. Apple CEO wants workers back in the office in September. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Here are the oil and gas companies whose methane emissions intensity is 6 times the national average. Hint, it's not the majors. Outside the box, how much can I spend in retirement? Apple asked employees to return to offices in September. Cruises are finally returning to U.S. ports. Here's what will be different post-COVID. The big move, I live in Seattle, but it's overrun with tech workers. Where can I move that has cheap homes and fast internet speeds? Are property prices in your neighborhood still rising? Blame it on the donut effect. Here's one delicious way to cut your risk of type 2 diabetes, according to this study of 7,000 people. Here's what employers are not allowed to do to entice workers to get COVID-19 vaccinations. In one chart, here's one financial reason why employees want to work from home, and employers had a hand in it. Dispatches from a pandemic. Fighting the pandemic at Skid Row was the toughest challenge of our lifetime. We were trying to save lives while saving ourselves. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Leonhardt Ventures LLC announces plans to take bids for Globe Newswire. Cisco, peers targeted in ITC networking patent complaint, seeking alpha. Affinno and Honda complete large patent transaction, Johnson City Press, subscription. Should I get a patent for my invention? Postbulletin.com. Spectrum announces acquisition of unique surface technology for spinal trauma, PR Newswire. Obituary, Dr. Donald A. Burns, May 24, 2021, Los Alamos Daily Post. Biden's tax policies would harm investment, jobs, and innovation, MarketWatch. Current war musical depicts historic struggle between Edison and Westinghouse 90.5 Lisa. Patent protection filed for invention devices generated by AI, intellectual property, United States, Mondac News alerts. Plaintiff did not have standing to pursue patent infringement action where inventor assignment was not automatic, intellectual property, United States, Mondac News alerts. The next headlines are from Quartz. Will Huawei's Android knockoff appease China's technology hawks? Why Amazon is backing away from drug testing employees for weed. Cookies. Why Etsy thinks fashion resale site Depop is worth $1.6 billion. Drivers in the US and UK have very different strategies for pressuring Uber. Facing labor shortages, companies are draining their inventories. The coronavirus pandemic has revealed capitalism's greatest weakness. A year after George Floyd's murder, the business community tries to do better. The future of work according to Zoom. Naomi Osaka and the limits of employee accommodations. The following headlines are from TechDirt. Content moderation case study, Twitter suspends users who tweet the word Memphis, 2021. Leaked emails show Chicago PD bought, deployed drones using off-the-books forfeiture funds. Trump banned himself from his own blog, upset that everyone mocked its terrible traffic. Europe's Human Rights Court says UK mass surveillance violated rights, unlawfully obtained journalists' communications. Daily Deal, set up 1-year subscription. Washington Post runs bizarrely ignorant opinion piece claiming Florida's content moderation law is constitutional. Broadband industry keeps, falsely, claiming U.S. broadband prices are dropping. Are partial liability rules the path forward for intermediary liability regimes? Lessons learned from Brazil. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Netanyahu. Trump blog. Myocarditis. NHL draft lottery. Floyd Mayweather vs. Logan Paul. Coach K. Braun Strowman. Robert Hogan. Fauci emails. Brad Stevens. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Twitter scrubs Nigerian president's post and suspends account for abusive behavior after tweeting warning to rebels. Ruzi Agate returns to law school, Robert Mueller to teach special course about his pro but prestigious university. Doesn't want America to be a nation at all, Trump says Biden wants migrants to swamp U.S. by ending remand in Mexico rule. That was unexpected, Amazon, Barnes & Noble memory hole Fauci's book amid email revelations. Argentina's oil workers threaten strike if government doesn't greenlight private COVID-19 vaccine purchase. Biden to discuss cyber attacks with Putin in Geneva among other topics, White House says. Bibi's done, anti-Netanyahu coalition notifies Israeli president that it has formed new government after Arab party joins. Fauci said in early days of COVID outbreak that masks not effective in keeping out virus, small droplets pass through. They should have Googled him. Google under fire for diversity. Chief's old blog posts about Jews' appetite for war. Latest Iran nuclear deal revival talks end on a high. EU negotiator says he believes deal will be struck next week. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. More workers are quitting their jobs instead of returning to the office. China's artificial sun sets world record running at 120 million degrees for 101 seconds. That was a lie, Tucker Carlson levels Fauci after FOIA emails connect the dots. New York City paid 114,000 highly compensated public employees earning $100,000 plus. West Virginia offers gun, trucks, and piles of cash to encourage vaccinations. Drivers of the new UFO narrative keep absurdly saying they could be dangerous ETs. Landlord hosed after appeals court tosses bid to resume evictions. Biden and the 1%. SoftBank-backed construction industry transforming company Katerra collapses after billions in investment. Chamber of Commerce confirms U.S. labor shortage is a national economic crisis. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Nicaraguan police raid home of opposition presidential hopeful. NASA plans 2 new missions to Venus, the first in decades. Good faith error, Chauvin requests probation for Floyd killing. JBS begins reopening meat plants shut by cyber attack. Biden unveils effort to get more Americans vaccinated by July 4th. Chile's unpopular president delivers solitary farewell. Facebook employees demand change around Palestine posts, report. Is Israel's friction over Iran a warning or an empty threat? NFL reviewing black players' injury claims after bias charges. Israeli opposition heads agree to form Govt, boot Netanyahu out. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Experts, China white-knuckled scared of one-child policy's social destruction. Florida county officials investigated for registering jail inmates to vote in 2020 election. Watch live, event and book signing with Breaking the News author Alex Marlowe and TPUSA's Charlie Kirk. Gretchen Whitmer leaves door open to extending coronavirus restrictions past July 1st. Report, Biden's DHS flying single adult male border crossers into U.S. cities. Ann Coulter, why is Ancestry.com protecting white serial killers? Secret Service agent gets CEO gig after rescuing Hunter Biden from purported cocaine, prostitute binge. NI Director Collins to FNC's McCallum, I'm a bit unhappy, disturbed with Wuhan lab questions. Anthony Fauci ignored email from physicist claiming hydroxychloroquine could help battle coronavirus. Osterholm, scientists backed off of lab leak theory because supporting it was perceived as supporting Trump. The next headlines are from UPI News. Idaho man wins his second lottery jackpot in 7 years. FDA, don't eat cicadas if you have seafood allergies. Watch, police, game warden rescue deer from soccer net in Wisconsin. Scottish man reunited with stolen wallet after 17 years. Boat dealer offers $100,000 reward for catching specific fish. Watch, Maryland County throws birthday party for 100-year-old twins. iPhone 12 fished out of Berlin Canal with a magnet. Watch, bobcat that sparked school evacuation was escaped house cat. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. 2-year-old girl with a genius IQ is the youngest American to become member of Mensa. Bees buy plants to make them flower early, surprising scientists. Americans choose best road trip tunes of all time for your summer playlist. Father and daughter put cicadas into cute poses for fun photos in Virginia. Researchers have found that listening to natural sounds like running water benefits human health. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Thursday, June 3rd. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Yes, Amazon will sell weed, stop worrying and start acting. Candidate punched, interrupted by sex toy on drone ad event. Unbelievable, children, 12 and 14, use AK-47, other guns in shooting rampage on Volusia deputies. Autonomous drone strike in Libya subject of recent United Nations report. 14-year-old girl who opened fire at deputies referred to Grand Theft Auto, sheriff. Suspect falls from Subway restaurant ceiling with stolen deli meat, police say. Trump closes his Beacon of Freedom website a month after launching it. Man charged with attempted murder after car crashes into house, driver runs naked through woods. Boat catches fire on Moses Lake, disrupts alleged anti-gay harassment. Bay Area man dies in 500-foot fall from one of California's highest peaks. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. Studies show tech is still dangerous, unwelcoming for LGBTQ employees. Spotify's new Only You feature will tell you that you're special, but you're probably not. Here's why the US continues to beat China in the AI race. This 17-course mega training package can turn you into a game creator for less than $20. Learn to shoot brilliant photos from the guys who shoot Kanye and Iron Man. No, really. There's a new wave of text fraud going around. Here's how you can avoid getting scammed. EV adoption, the UK is catching up with electric car lovers Norway. Standard Chartered jumps into crypto trading after HSBC darts away. Silicon powder could help increase EV battery capacity and reduce weight. Tesla hops on Chinese social media to police posts that damage its brand. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Machine learning platform mines nature for new drugs. Scientists identify signaling underlying regeneration. Particle-free silver microgrid outperforms other flexible high-performance transparent electrodes. Dead zones formed repeatedly in North Pacific during warm climates. Oldest human traces from the southern Tibetan Plateau in a new light. The powerhouse future is flexoelectric. How is the genome like an open book? New research shows cells library system. Similarity of legs, wheels, tracks suggests target for energy-efficient robots. Major advance in fabrication of low-cost solar cells also locks up greenhouse gases. How HIV infection shrinks the brain's white matter. The next headlines are from Information Week. Log Main CIO, the art of integrating acquisitions. Hiring and attracting tech talent with an engineering-first mindset. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Thursday, June 3rd from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA selects 2 missions to study lost habitable world of Venus. Científicos de la NASA disponibles para entrevistas durante la temporada de hurricanes. NASA scientists available for interviews throughout hurricane season. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Utah Jazz Blitzkrieg from beyond the arc, lead 47-27 after first quarter of Game 5. Utah Jazz Memphis Grizzlies buzz, Jazz sizzle from three-point line early, social media predicts Jazz win before game. Martina Spirit drug test confirmed, Bob Baffert suspended 2 years. Gang members worked with Mexican drug cartel to sell drugs in Salt Lake City, indictments allege. Ex-Carbon High School teacher charged with sexually abusing student. Utah has 200 new coronavirus cases and vaccine doses delivered passes 2.6 million. With the parade cancelled, here's how you can still celebrate Pride Week. Shipping container see new life as affordable box 500 apartments in Salt Lake City. Bagley cartoon, Exasperation Nation. Davis Sheriff's deputies won't enforce laws that infringe on gun rights. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. Bill Gates' next-generation nuclear reactor to be built in Wyoming. Huawei's Harmony OS arrives with iPad-inspired tablet UI, apparent Android base. Amazon warehouse injuries 80% higher than competitors, report claims. PayPal shuts down longtime Tor supporter with no recourse. Microsoft to unveil new version of Windows on June 24th. AMC is giving free popcorn away to meme stonk investors. Amazon ends testing most employees for marijuana, will lobby for legalization. China reports first human case of H10N3 bird flu. Google Chrome's top web app advocate resigns. Ransomware attack disrupts Massachusetts ferries. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Preserving What's Right, annual fundraiser for the Frank Lloyd Wright House kicks off this Sunday. NAACP leaders meet with St. Charles County prosecutor after bomb-making defendant gets probation and not prison. MLS commissioner visits developing downtown stadium district. COVID-19 shot comes with a free beer under new Illinois law. College football recruiting gets back to normal with Lindenwood Mega Camp this weekend. Missouri Supreme Court rules $3 court fee unconstitutional. Love is Love digital billboards go up across St. Louis during Pride Month. Vaccine freebies, official list of free and discounted things for vaccinated Americans. Missouri records 306 new COVID-19 cases on Wednesday, 42 virus deaths. Variants blamed for COVID-19 spike in northern Missouri. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Imperiled North County Foster Academy grant head extension by state. Gallery, Fam, Kim hurt in outfield collision, Padres fall to surging Cubs 6-1. San Diego native Reggie Bush among first-timers up for College Hall of Fame. Man denies charges in Oceanside and run that killed bicyclist. State agrees to $1.60 settlement to pay attorney's fees in South Bay church suit. Gloria calls for equity with launch of Parks for All of Us initiative. Don't trust smugglers, feds warn of deadly recent operations. Getting vaccinated could earn you free Padres tickets. Man denies stabbing family over comments on messy bathroom. Chula Vista police investigate new tips in Miami lead case. The next headlines are from spooknews.com. Man catches his girlfriend cheating for 6 years using a USB plug-in recording device, Texas News Today. New BMW M4 spy shots show hotter variant with an aggressive face. Casper man gets probation for stalking woman. Mercedes X5 video captures silent sedan back at Nürburgring. Russia widens opposition crackdown with bill, jailing of critic. Russia widens opposition crackdown with bill, jailing of critic, France 24. Man catches girlfriend of 6 years cheating on him. Dunhammer, NSA blamed for Danish spying on Europol's Security Boulevard. Here's what Ziva's role within Mossad really was on CIS. NSA spying row, 4 reasons why the US and Europe may continue to snoop on each other and still remain friends. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. US Navy destroyer successfully intercepts ballistic targets. U.S. Army to cut procurement of 155mm artillery rounds. Russia says that Southeast Asian countries eye Su-57 jets. U.S. Air Force awards contract to Learjet for E-11B ACN communications jets. India sent its newest howitzers to disputed frontier region of Ladakh. The next headlines are from SupChina, top news about China. Shy smiles from the US and China on trade, Yellen meets Liu. The history of Chinese animation, from groundbreaking Havoc in Heaven to crappy-looking Kung Fu Mulan. Sign up for the China vibe. Li Zicheng sets fire to the Forbidden City. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Thursday, June 3, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Budget cuts would make Richmond less safe, police chief says. Oakland woman escorted out of hotel pool after allegedly complaining about women kissing. Santa Clara County coroner releases autopsies of VTA shooting victims. Pride Month interview, LGBTQ Youth Center raises money for renovations. Recall timeline could speed up as election costs are submitted. Person who wrote message in a bottle in Florida has been found. Massive skull found on New Jersey beach is identified. 14 wolf dogs rescued after being found living in sewage, Kansas couple arrested. Ring of Fire, solar eclipse will be visible next week. Vaccine freebies, official list of free and discounted things for vaccinated Americans. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Baseball, Dundee Crown shuts out Round Lake. Softball, St. Francis advances to regional final. Girls soccer, Bartlett blanks Schaumburg. Softball, Thayer pitches Batavia over Naperville North. Girls soccer, Connacht shuts out Hoffman Estates in regional opener. Glenbrook North standout set to take over for retiring coach Kaya Duke. Hit and run driver strikes man in Mount Prospect. Why Frida Kahlo show will be a boon for Glen Ellen, Wheaton. Abbott closes Gurney plant, lets go 2,000 workers as demand for COVID-19 tests drops. Half of daily COVID-19 vaccine shots going into suburban arms. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Green alert for tropical cyclone CHOI, WAN, 21, population affected by category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Green alert for tropical cyclone Blanca 21, population affected by category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Thursday, June 3rd in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from Cipher Brief Security News and High-Level Analysis. Mapping China by the Numbers, Organizing to Win. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Girlfriend of missing boy's dad charged after a child's body found in motel. George P. Bush running against Ken Paxton for Texas Attorney General. Houston businesses fear JBS cyber attack will hurt them in the future. Houston firefighters asking voters to bind Mayor Turner for contract. Flood advisory issued for northern Harris County until 10:30 p.m. One deputy accuses former partner of sexual misconduct during bachelor party sting operation. 2 arrested, 10 rescued in possible human smuggling case in Southwest Houston, HPD says. Accused serial killer with Houston ties sentenced to death after being found guilty in teen's death. San Francisco Giants will be first MLB team to wear Pride Month-themed uniforms, caps. Beto O'Rourke begins democracy tour seeking Texans' needs on voting rights. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Without Embiid, 76ers roll past Wizards and into second round. SC lawmaker makes history as first black woman to run for gov. Migrants are warned of smuggling risks on California border. AP photos, Tokyo nightlife bustles despite virus emergency. George P. Bush running for Attorney General in Texas. Trump Justice Department seized phone records of 4 NIT reporters. Ruggs ready for bigger role in second season with Raiders. Dalton says mindset didn't change when Bears landed Fields. Duke's Krzyzewski to coach one final year, handoff to Shire. Cemetery search resumes for victims of Tulsa race massacre. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. MTA reports cyber hack in April, but no disruption or data loss. Coronavirus statistics, tracking the epidemic in New York. Extra, Donald Trump dumps blog after less than a month. Round 2, here we go, Nets fans feel Brooklyn pride as team beats Celtics. New music venue Brooklyn made launching in Bushwick this fall. NYC to install COVID vaccine clinics at 4 Bronx schools. Little Island announces inaugural summer performances. If you're partying again in NYC, be wary of fentanyl-laced cocaine. How will New York City's next mayor tackle clean energy and climate change? Early edition, regular bikers and e-bikers are getting in fights over who belongs on the trail. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Invasive pests spread another fallout from climate change, UN-backed study finds. Staggering health needs emerge in Gaza, following Israel-Hamas conflict. We won't allow corruption to continue unchecked, UN Assembly President. Naomi Osaka's bravery can be a teachable moment about mental health. Mali, military must scrupulously respect human rights and free civilian leaders. Light below water, the UN calls for action on ocean protection. UN chief condemns deadly attacks targeting displaced people in Dr. Congo. COVID crisis to push global unemployment over 200 million mark in 2022. bridging the gaps between climate action and biodiversity preservation. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. So sue us, Amazon responds to 75,000 customers who say Alexa spied on them. U.S. waives FBI checks on caregivers at new migrant facilities, alarming child welfare experts. Now is your last chance to opt out of Amazon Sidewalk. Make way for the snitch state, the all-seeing fourth branch of government. The vaccine divide and emerging segregation society. The Great Reset requires great propaganda and the rejection of logic and rationality. EU launches digital wallet in latest step toward cashless society. Vaccination tracking apps ineffective, amplify inequalities, pose privacy issues, report. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Were Donald Trump's Facebook and Instagram accounts restored? Ad falsely claims AOC owns one of world's most expensive houses. Sick of dangerous city traffic? Remove left turns. No, the U.S. military didn't arrest Deborah Birx for spreading COVID lies. Federal judge declines to order fireworks at Mount Rushmore. NFL pledges to halt race norming, review black claims. The $5,251,839 feet post doesn't circumvent Facebook algorithm. Rumor alert, claims that Rep. Nancy Mace vandalized her own home. COVID-19, why the lab leak theory should be formally investigated. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Old Yeller, Trump puts angry blog out of its misery. My Pillow guy says he probably inspired Trump's idea of an August restoration. BB's trying to pull a Donald, and the GOP is there for him. NY chief snaps at Fox News anchor for pushing claim that U.S. funded COVID origins. Rioter who gave Capitol Cop a concussion has horrific history of beating women, feds. Joy Beer confronts Chris Matthews on sexist Hillary remarks, awkwardness ensues. Stone Cold Loser, the brief wondrous life of Trump's sad little blog site. Dad's girlfriend arrested after child's body found in tote bag at Texas motel. Buckingham Palace's institutional racism revealed in damning unearthed documents. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Video of dad, daughter speaking out against critical race theory goes viral. Distraught dad has message for jailed girlfriend after his son's remains were found. Knicks season ends in blowout playoff loss to Hawks. Biden's bigot smear versus Trump voters, divine. Next mayor wants NYC to be even more of a sanctuary for illegal migrants. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Ask Astro I, what would the Milky Way look like from the Andromeda Galaxy? You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. Biden unveils vaccine incentives as push to get 70% of adults partially vaccinated by July 4th looms. U.S. employees return to work as country emerges from COVID pandemic. Space junk hits International Space Station, damaging robotic arm. 7 asteroids are zooming past Earth this week. Russians prepare for arrival of new space station module. Biden suspends drilling leases in Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. Nature, wolves of Yellowstone. Forecasters predict above normal 2021 hurricane season. Health officials set up mobile vaccination clinics at U.S. beaches. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. NYC mayoral candidates come out swinging in feisty TV debate ahead of Democratic primary. JBS meat processor working to get back online following cyber attack. A Muslim woman from Texas accuses Southwest Airlines of barring her from sitting in an exit row due to wearing a hijab. World's lakes are losing oxygen faster than oceans, climate change implicated, study. Former Make-A-Wish executive pleads guilty to stealing thousands from charity. NY Senate to pass Adult Survivors Act that could open civil suit look-back window. NY lawmakers approve legislation to stop wage theft of construction workers. Texas high school valedictorian swaps approved speech for critique of state's new abortion ban, goes viral. NYC mayoral candidate Diane Morales advisor defects to My Wiley campaign. Chili's enters the chicken sandwich wars with secret ingredient others don't have. The following headlines are from military.com. As woke criticism grows, Pentagon says no apologies for diversity programs. VA hospital allowed alcoholic pathologist to go unchallenged, resulting in patient deaths, watchdog. C-17 sightseeing tour over Ireland that drew complaints from locals was pre-approved, base says. DPAA expects to identify 90% of USS Oklahoma unknowns by year's end. Bill would provide better education benefits to Native American veterans. Department of Defense has no plans to investigate former three-star Mike Flynn's coup comments, spokesman says. Sergeant Major of the Army wants soldiers to consider getting out of uniform for 3 years. Coast Guard gets a pay raise in Biden's first budget request. 3M wins lawsuit over military issued earplugs. Largest purchase of exercise equipment ever, how one company supplied gear for the ACFT. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. 1 dead, at least 2 injured including girl, 14, during shootings on South Side, Dan Ryan. 3 hurt when squad car with lights and sirens activated smashes into car, flips in Woodlawn neighborhood. Mayor Lightfoot knocks elected school board compromise for Chicago public schools as having nothing to do with democracy but says it's not real yet. CPS launching anti-bias initiative and joining Lady Gaga's Born This Way Foundation. Police continue to investigate shooting in parking lot of Woodman's in North Aurora. Facial recognition for fish, researchers test technology on Asian carp in battle to stop invasive species from spreading to Lake Michigan. Illinois moves up on LGBTQ business climate index, but more work needs to be done. Coronavirus in Illinois updates, Pritzker raises possibility of lottery to encourage more people to get COVID-19 shots as vaccination numbers continue to dip, 478 new cases and 9 deaths reported Wednesday. Bud Billiken Parade returning after COVID-induced absence in 2020, organizers announce. Tragic accident, say Joliet police after boy, 2, dies following self-inflicted shooting. The following headlines are from FIS.org. Male piglets less resilient to stress when moms get sick during pregnancy. California urges EPA to let states set car emissions standard. Team develops machine learning platform that mines nature for new drugs. Scientists identify signaling underlying organ and limb regeneration. Printing a better microgrid. Study offers insights for communicating about wildlife, zoonotic disease amid COVID-19. A sticky subject, studying shellfish for advanced adhesives. A new dimension in the quest to understand dark matter. Why short selling is good for the capital markets. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Thursday, June 3rd, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Julio Jones is the latest big name linked to the Seahawks. Would a trade make sense for Seattle? Pepperdine beats Oklahoma 3-2 for second national golf title. Dallas HS valedictorian delivers abortion rights call. App shows support for Naomi Osaka with donation, fine offer. Marijuana retailer opens in Washington City where selling cannabis is prohibited. 15 former WSU frat members charged in alcohol poisoning death. The following headlines are from mercurynews.com. Coroner releases VTA mass shooting victims' cause of death. Stanford clears student after satirical mocking of Federalist Society. California bilingual programs ready to grow after slowing during pandemic. Why Athletics Jesus Luzardo may be better off in the bullpen. Rep Swalwell unable to serve Rep Brooks with subpoena. CCS Girls Basketball Playoffs, opening round schedule, matchups. CCS Basketball Playoffs 2021, boys first round schedule. QAnon chatter sparks concerns about further violence. Prosecutors can play child pornography for jury, CA court rules in Bay Area cops appeal. SF, former public works director accused of robbery at knife point. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Trump Department of Justice secretly seized 4 New York Times reporters' phone records, newspaper says. Manuel Gonzalez, Albuquerque mayor candidate, punched, interrupted by sex toy on drone at event. Only Old Glory Act, conservatives push ban on Black Lives Matter, gay pride flags at U.S. embassies. George P. Bush to challenge Ken Paxton for Attorney General in Texas. Are evil, ransomware group with Russia ties, behind JBS attack, FBI says. Naftali Bennett Yair Lapid deal apparently ends Benjamin Netanyahu's long reign in Israel. Eric Metaxas, Christian author, cancelled by YouTube, they whacked us. Naftali Bennett is Netanyahu's former protege, now successor. Joe Biden, Shelley Moore Capito have constructive infrastructure conversation, White House says. Board votes to drop Confederate names from 6 Florida schools. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Meet the construction attorney who shook up New York's mayoral race. Ambushed by the cops, when police deliberately trap peaceful protesters. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Thursday, June 3, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. Autistic people find it harder to identify anger in facial expressions, new study. RUDN University chemists created cheap catalysts for ethanol conversion. Cancer-promoting ROS protein exists in a pair within cells. Ben Gurion U studies show promise using drones to elicit emotional responses. Continuous glucose monitors help manage type 2 diabetes. A speedy trial, what it takes to be the fastest land predator. Global research team develops fine-scale risk maps to tackle malaria in Haiti. CMU team develops machine learning platform that mines nature for new drugs. MDI biological laboratory scientist identifies signaling underlying regeneration. Declining fish biodiversity poses risks for human nutrition. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. For Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton, bill making Illinois first to require Alzheimer's training in healthcare is personal. 14-year-old girl critically wounded in back-of-the-yard shooting. Driver critically wounded in Dan Ryan shooting near 33rd. Welch's first session wielding Speaker's gavel, did he take a great step, or follow in Madigan's footsteps? Man fatally shot in Gresham, police. Power shot, Pritzker injects COVID-19 vaccine lottery talking to mix as daily inoculation rate plummets. Ricky Martin says he has PTSD from 2000 Barbara Walters interview. Got your shot, now get a beer, or a shot. Pritzker signs law allowing bars to offer one free drink to fully vaccinated. Blame it on the filibuster. NASCAR's Wallace puts pills in Boys and Girls Club kids in the driver's seat. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Thursday, June 3, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Chris Shepard, cheeseburgers and CBD. From Sunday morning booze to backing the blue, Texas lawmakers hustled in session's final days. More heavy rain, potential flooding to start June. New DJ Screw movie to begin filming in Houston this week. Houston Texans sign Patriots cast-off RB Rex Burkhead. Op-ed, border agents took my truck, and the Supreme Court shrugged. Bob Saget hasn't been more excited about stand-up comedy since 1995. Houston Concert Watch 6/2, the red jumpsuit apparatus, East of Edo and more. The next headlines are about world records making news. LONGi breaks 3 more world records for solar cell efficiency, SolarEnergy. The incredible world record set by Fast and Furious 7. See you again, Looper. ISHOF announces the Masters International Swimming Hall of Fame class of 2021, Swimming World magazine. This 17-year-old sprinter just broke Usain Bolt's under-18 world record for 200 face-to-face Africa. US FY 2022 budget request includes record for nuclear energy, nuclear policies, world nuclear news. All world records set in Mare Nostrum history, swim-swam. Marcus Rem soars to world long jump record, Athletics Weekly. One song, 400 singers, Southwest Florida musicians help try to break world record, News Press. Nakamura shatters record in bullet chess speed run presented by Stella Artois, chess.com. Toyota Mirai sets world record for distance traveled on hydrogen, driving. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Netflix's Jupiter's Legacy is finished for now, but its extended universe isn't. AMC belongs to the people now. Someone hacked the MTA. Sean Bean hasn't seen Game of Thrones finale, but he has one thing to say about it, good for them. Meet Firestarter's adorable new pyrokinetic star, Ryan Kira Armstrong. NFTs are crashing, and who could have seen this coming other than basically anyone? Spit out that cicada, right now. Extremely delayed James Webb Space Telescope delayed again. Why a mediocre keyboard app is topping the App Store charts. Star Wars just made smuggling Han Solo's body a very complicated business. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was New Wasib in Kuwait at 122.9 degrees Fahrenheit or 50.5 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was University WIID in Dome Fuji at 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Venus is so very nice, NASA is going there twice. Huawei officially replaces Android with Harmony OS, which is also Android. Verizon says forcing people off old plans to get FCC subsidy isn't upselling. SEC struggling to rein in Elon Musk's tweets, letters reveal. Dunning-Kruger meets fake news. Apple's Home OS slip fits with prior rumors about new smart home products. Take $15 off a 12-month PlayStation Plus subscription today. 1 week with Garmin's newly announced Forerunner 945 LTE and Forerunner 55. HBO Max now offers a, partially, ad-supported service tier. After months of drama, Minecraft speedrunner Dream admits he used mods. The following headlines are from Raw Story. QAnon believer threatened more election violence. Stanford University ignores Federalist Society trying to cancel law student for satirical flyer. Trump Department of Justice seized phone records from 4 New York Times reporters shortly after he took office, report. 8 coaches forced a high school football player to violate his faith and eat pork as teammates watched. Trump advisors beg him to let 2020 go, but own host assures him audits could still prove he won, report. Ex-Breitbart staffer calls Republicans the most mentally fragile, weak, scared little children in a corner. Here's why Michael Flynn is desperately trying to cover up his call for a coup in the U.S. Busted, Trump met with CEO who helped organize Patriot caravans to Capitol riot, 3 months later. Trump rioter went from belting out tunes at Carnegie Hall to belting a cop at the Capitol. Social media companies profited over $1 billion from anti-vaxxer content, report. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. A Texas valedictorian spoke out against an abortion ban at commencement. Get ready for another active hurricane season in 2021. Winning beats from the first Indigenous Hip Hop Awards. Wave goodbye to Donald Trump's blog, which lasted 1 month. The shot in the eye squad. We take care of travelers, inside the vaccine tourism of Brazil's superrich. Foreign firms sucking virtual water from America's parched Southwest. Jim Crow killed voting rights for generations. Now the GOP is repeating history. Are progressives finally ready to throw their weight around? We need to understand how we got to January 6th before we can move forward. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. NASA is ending its 30-year Venus drought with 2 new missions, MIT Technology Review. Molecular Complexity Index could help find proof of alien life, Chemistry World. Detecting mid-infrared light, 1 photon at a time, Mirage News. The following items are today's top search results for the term neural plasticity. Epigenomic landscape and 3D genome structure in pediatric high-grade glioma, science advances. Regular caffeine consumption, from coffee, cola, or energy drinks, affects brain structure, see Tech Daily. The Neuroscience and the Treatment of Tinnitus, the Hearing Journal, LWW Journals. Alzheimer's disease neuronal damage may be alleviated by specific mRNA molecule, Clinical Omics News. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Thursday, June 3rd, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Thursday, June 3rd, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News i8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News i8. All rights reserved.